Hi students, welcome to the session on electrostatic energy. In this class, we are going to study about amount of energy present in system of charges or assembly of charges. Okay, so in order to find the amount of energy present in our assembly of charges, we must know work done to assemble them. We must first determine the work done to assemble them, right? So let us start with one example. Let us assume that we have three charges, q1, q2 and q3 present in infinity. Why? Where v infinity is 0. So we can call this is a reference position. q1, q2, q3 are present in some reference position, right? So and we want to move these charges to on initially free space, this one, right? This is free surface, the free space, that means there is no charge, there is no field. First let me move charge q1 from infinity to point p1 here. Okay, so now how much work to be done to move q1 to point p1? The work done must be 0. Work done, w1 is nothing but work done to move a charge q1 from point infinity to point p1. Why? Because we know that work done is given by minus q into uh, E dot dl, right? From infinity to point P1. Since this is free space initially, the electric field is not there because there is no charge, there is no field. So E0, W1 is equal to 0. This is what concept. Moreover, what you can understand, since there is no charge, there is no field, so there is no force here. So we don't need to give any opposed force to move that. So work done is 0. So mathematically and conceptualize, work done is 0 is proved to move a charge. Once charge comes to point P1 here, once Q1 comes here, what happens? It will generate some field. So when I want to move Q2 to some point P2, I have to do some work against the field, right? So what is that work? We know that W is equal to that work done is stored as a potential energy, right? W is equal to Q into V, that we know. So here we are doing work on charge, work done to move a charge from infinity to 2. So infinity to point 2. Which charge? Charge number 2. So I write as work done to move a charge 2. W2 I can write as Q2 into V21. What is that? Q2 is a charge, V21 is nothing but potential at point P2 due to Q1. Why? Because of work done to move a charge from infinity to point P1, right? The energy must be done, energy must be spent, that energy is stored as potential energy that will be having some effect on point P2. So when you want to move Q2 to point 2, you have to take that into account. So W is equal to Q2 potential at point 2 due to point 1. So it is the work done. Next, now this is W2. Similarly, now if I want to move charge Q3 to point P3 here, right? Now this point has potential due to point P1, that is known as W31, and the potential due to point P2, charge in point P2, right? So W V32, right? So potential at point 3 due to charge 1, potential at point 3 due to charge 2. So how much work done to move a charge 3 to point 3? That is given by W3. W3 is equal to Q3, right? potential at point 3 due to charge 1 plus potential at point 2, point 3 due to charge 2. So what is the total work done? W is equal to W1 plus W2 plus W3. So I will get equal to 0 plus Q2 V21 plus Q3 into V31 plus V32. Let us assume this is equation number 1. Right? Suppose if you put the charge in the reverse order, first Q3, next Q2, next Q1, again we will be having the same, and what is the thing we will be having? We will be having W3, W2, W1. So work done to move a charge 3 first, charge 2 next, charge 1 next. So it will be like first work done is 0 because that is it is initially free space. Next we are moving Q2 and potential at point 2 due to charge 3. Next we move Q1, then it is potential at point 3 due to potential at point 1 due to 3 and potential point 1 due to 2. Right? Let us assume this is 2. Right? So what is that? If you add, so let us assume it is WE. Right? So what is the total? If you add 1 and 2, 2WE becomes Q1 into V12 plus V13, this one, okay, plus Q2 V21 plus V23, this and this, fine. Next plus Q3 into V31 plus V32. Fine. So that is becoming, right, Q1 into, see, V1 to V13 is nothing but potential at point 1 due to charge 2, potential at point 1 due to charge 3. That is remaining potential. I can write as potential at point 1. Similarly, Q2, this is potential at point 2 due to 1 and 3. So we can write as V2. Similarly, it is potential at point 3 due to 1 and 2. So I can write as V3. So it is what? 2WE. Fine. So what is my WE? Capital WE is 1 by 2 into Q1 V1 plus Q2 V2 plus Q3 V3. Right? So this we got it. So let us assume this is equation number 3 or 4. 3. Okay. Right. So we know that what is Q1, V2, V3? V1, V2, V3 are potential at point 1, potential at point 2, potential at point 3. So I can write, it is for 3 charges. For n charges, I can write as WE 1 by 2 summation k goes to 1 to n, or k goes to 1 to n, and QK VK for n charges. Right, for n charges. Okay, right. So these are all point charges, right? So P, Q1, Q2, Q3 are point charges. For that, this is the work done, right? So similarly, if we have continuous charge distribution, that means rho L, rho S, rho V, then WE becomes 1 by 2 summation for a continuous, it will become integral. So charge is rho L, V is V only, rho L dl. It is for line charge. Work done. Right? So similarly for surface charge, we know that charge is rho S, 1 by 2, right? L rho S V ds. We know that for line charge, it is for surface charge. Similarly for volume charge, 1 by 2, sorry, it is surface, it is volume, rho V V dV. This is potential, this is volume, dV is volume charge. Right, for line charge we know Q is equal to rho L into dl for surface charge rho s into ds, for volume charge rho v into dv, right? If you have any doubt, please refer my video on continuous charge distribution. So this is the work done for continuous charges. Top one is for work done for point charges, right? Okay, next. Okay, so we know that del dot d is equal to rho v. So we take last one because we are mostly bothering about volume charge. We know that W is equal to 1 by 2 V. Instead of this rho V, you substitute del dot D into V, potential. This is potential, this is volume. Please remember dV, volume. Okay. So now what happens? We know one vector identity. What is that? Del dot VA vector is equal to A vector dot del V plus V into del dot A vector. Okay. So this implies what do you call del dot A into V. Del dot A into V is equal to del dot VA minus this I bring left hand side A dot del V, right? So V into del dot A or A del dot A into V, both are same one. So now you see it is in del dot D into V, like that format. Del dot A instead of A we have D. So use this identity here. So what happens? WE is equal to 1 by 2 V del dot right VD, fine, and del dot VD dV minus 1 by 2, right? Instead of A we have D dot del V, fine, into dV. Okay, so this is another point to be noted, right? So this is what del dot volume integral. This is what volume integral, right? Let us convert into surface integral by using what you call divergence theorem. So that will become 1 by 2. Volume integral means it has to be related with the closed surface integral, right? Vd dot ds, right? I apply divergence theorem. If you have any doubt, please refer my video on divergence theorem. So minus 1 by 2, right? V into d dot del V into dV. Okay. So this is another important point. And we know that V is equal to, V is directly proportional to 1 by R and D is directly proportional to 1 by R square. That and all we studied already. Right? If you have any doubt, please refer my video on potential and electric flux density for point charge. Okay. Similarly, right? So here you see this is 1 by R, right? This is 1 by R, this is 1 by R square. That means 1 by R cube. This is decaying at the rate of 1 by R cube. Surface area is R squared. So total function decays at the rate of 1 by R, right? So if your surface area is very big, right? So for a very big surface or very large surface, right? So R is large. When R is large, 1 by R is 1 by R tends to 0. So I can neglect this integral. So this will become approximately equal to 0. So I will have W is equal to minus 1 by 2 V D dot, okay, right? So D dot del V into dV. Okay. So this is what we have to remember, right? Only this condition is applicable only for if you have a large surface, right? We know that E is equal to minus del V. Substitute that here. So WE, capital WE is equal to minus del V means minus will become, so it is 1 by 2. Fine. D into E into dV. We know D is equal to epsilon naught E. Substitute that, it will become 1 by 2 epsilon naught E into E dot E squared, right? So it will be, because D vector is equal to epsilon naught E, so it is dot product, E dot E is E squared. So this is what work done. Final equation, right? Work done to assemble the charges at particular point. Right, now what we have to find energy density. That's what amount of energy present in the assembly of charge. So energy density is given by, so what is population density? Population per area. Energy density is work done per volume. So our population density is population in a space, volume. So our energy density is work done per volume, that is joule by meter cube, that we know. Work done is joule, volume is meter cube. So we have work done. What we have to do? Work done per volume, that is rate. So okay. So energy density is given by small w. Small w is given by change dWe by dV, right? So rate of change per volume, dV is volume here, right? So if you differentiate this equation, because W is this one, so 1 by 2, if you differentiate integration, integration will go out, so it is epsilon naught E squared. That is what energy density. So energy density is small we, that is equal to 1 by 2 epsilon naught E square. Fine. So work done is given by capital WE. This is energy density. Work done to assemble them is given by capital WE. That is equal to 1 by 2 what do you call, epsilon naught E square dV. Right. So these are all the two equations which are very important. Right. So if we know D is equal to epsilon E, epsilon naught E, so this implies E is equal to D by epsilon naught. Substitute here, we will get 1 by 2 epsilon naught D square. In terms of D square, you can get W is equal to D square by 2 epsilon naught. Right. So this is the amount of charges, amount of energy present in the assembly of charges, right? So that's what this energy density. So it depends upon what you call permittivity and electric field only. So amount of energy density. Okay. So that's all about this session. If you have any doubt, please ask me in comment section. I will clarify. Thank you.